Did you decide on a date for your wedding?
Yeah? Why?
What do you mean, why? You know I do shift work, so I'll have to make sure I'm off that day. I've got to find some time to go shopping to get something to wear, make hair appointments. There's lots of things I'll have to schedule and do to get ready. I've been looking forward to seeing you get married ever since you were a little girl.
Huh? You're coming to my wedding?
What? Of course I am. I'm your mom.
But I don't want you there.
Huh? Why not?
If you think about it for just a bit, I think you'll see why.
No, I don't see why I wouldn't go. Why don't you want me there?
Because my fiancé's whole family is doctors. They've been doctors for generations. Do you know how embarrassed I'd be if my high school dropout of a mom showed up?
But to not have your own mom show up to your own wedding, wouldn't that look even worse?
I'll just make up some excuse like you're sick and you can't go outside, or something like that.
Don't say things like that. Please, just let me come. I've been looking forward to seeing you all dressed up in your wedding dress walking down the aisle as long as I can remember.
I don't care about that. I don't want you there.
You've never mentioned this before. Why are you just bringing this up now? Did someone on his side say something about me?
Nobody has said anything directly about you, but I can sense how they feel. I don't think his dad or his mom think very highly of you. They've all got MDs or PhDs, and you're sitting there without even a high school diploma. What do you think they'd think? The only reason they're even allowing me to marry their son is because I at least have a degree from a reputable school. Being associated with you is a huge strike against me. Honestly, I'm considering cutting you out of my life altogether.
What? You're not. You don't have to go that far, do you? I raised you your whole life and you're just going to abandon me now?
My fiancé is the most important thing to me right now.
I'm not going to do anything to offend anyone in his family. And I promise I won't do anything to embarrass you.
If you were beautiful and dropped out of high school, maybe I could justify it. But you look like a regular old woman. You've got gray hairs all over the place, and your hands and skin are so wrinkly you look even older than you are. With a high school dropout of a mom who looks like you, they're gonna do nothing but tease me about it for the rest of my life.
There's nothing I can do about how I look. I've been working from morning till night for the past 20 years just to keep a roof over your head and food on the table. I haven't had the time or money to go to a beauty salon or worry about how my skin looks.
Why the heck wouldn't you care about your own looks? You damn well should.
Look, you know your grandfather was living with us because he was too sick to take care of himself. I not only had to work to raise you, I had to look after him at the same time. And I had to pay all of your grandma's hospital bills before she died too. I had to support everyone by myself. And by the time both of your grandparents had passed away, you were starting college. With all that tuition, everything's been really tough for me. No matter how long or how hard I worked, there never seemed to be enough money. Why can't you understand that?
Stop with your excuses. You only had to work that hard because you dropped out of high school. If you'd have gone to college, you could have gotten a decent job that paid well. You brought this all on yourself. A dropout single mother? My God, you're a disgrace. Why didn't you at least finish high school? Is it because you were too stupid?
I couldn't finish high school because of circumstances beyond my control. That's why I was working so hard, to make sure you never had to go through what I went through. That's why I worked so hard to help put you through a decent college. I did all this for you because I love you. I thought if I could see you get married and be happy, all my hard work would be worth it.
Why are you trying to make it sound like I owe you something for doing this? It's a parent's duty to raise and provide for their children. If you didn't have the funds or weren't prepared to support me until I was an adult, you shouldn't have given birth to me. But you did, so it's only natural that you work your butt off to provide for me until I'm old enough to get out on my own.
Why are you talking to me like this? I'm your mom, and I love you. I agree with some of your points, but you have to understand everyone has different circumstances, especially us.
It doesn't matter. You just don't fit in with the kind of family I'm marrying into. You better not come to my wedding. If you really care about me like you say you do, you'll stay away. Mom! Why did you say you're not paying for the wedding? The bride's family is supposed to pay. It's tradition. My fiancé's family already agreed to help out and pay half. So why are you suddenly refusing to pay any of it? Do you know how embarrassed I am right now?
What are you talking about? Why should I pay? You said I'm an embarrassment to you, and you forbid me from even going to your wedding. You expect me to pay for half of it after you did all that to me? I'm not giving you another cent for anything ever again. You're an adult now. If you want something, pay for it yourself.
So now you're just going to abandon your own daughter? You're heartless.
Say whatever you want. No matter what you say to me, you're not getting another cent.
Whatever. Do whatever you want. I don't know why this surprises me at all. I'm done with you. I'm never speaking to you again, so don't ever try contacting me again. You're not my mom.
What's this? Are you saying you knew?
What? Knew what?
That none of my blood is in your veins.
What are you talking about? None of your blood is in my veins? Is this some kind of joke?
It's no joke.
Huh? Then you mean, are you saying you're not my real...
I knew I'd have to tell you sometime, but I just couldn't bring myself to do it. So I've been trying to keep it a secret from you. When you were only 3 months old, I took you in.
Huh? Wait. Hold on. Then my parents? My real parents are somewhere, right? Who are they?
Do you want to know who your real mom is?
Of course. I want to talk to her. Give me her number. I want my real parents to be at my wedding.
Huh? What are you talking about? You're gonna forbid the woman who raised you your whole life to come, and instead, you're gonna invite someone you've never met?
Yes. Even though I've never met them, it's better than having the mother of the bride's seat empty at the wedding.
Don't you want to know what kind of person gave birth to you?
Well, of course, but there's no doubt they'll be better than a high school dropout. I doubt there is anything worse, lol.
Really? Okay. I don't know your real mom's phone number or where she lives, but I think I have some proof of who she is somewhere in my house. I'll find it and send it to you. When you see who it is, you can try to track her down yourself and get in contact with her.
Okay, I will. I've always wondered how someone like you could have been my mom. I suspected long ago that you weren't. We've got nothing in common. I've always believed a child should be with their real mom.
I've always treated you as my own daughter. I devoted my entire life to you. I did all that for you, and you're still going to say something like that?
I told you before, stop acting like I owe you something. I can't believe this. You've had me tricked this whole time. I want my real parents at my wedding. Get whatever information you have sent to me right away. You fraud. You tricked me again, didn't you? How could I be related to someone like that?
From the way you're acting, I see you found your real mom, huh?
Yeah, I found her. When I got the records you sent me, my fiancé hired a private investigator to find her.
Then invite her to your wedding like you wanted to. That's what you wanted, isn't it?
I'm not inviting someone like that.
Why not? No matter what, she's a better mom than a high school dropout could be, right?
I'm not inviting that thing to my wedding. She's nothing but a criminal. She tried to kill someone to get insurance money. She went to prison.
That's right. But she's out of prison now, isn't she? She should be able to go to your wedding.
What the heck is going on here? Explain this to me.
If you must know, your mom is my older sister. She's really beautiful and knows what men want. Guys have been lining up to be with her since she was young. And because of that, she's always thought she's better than everyone else. So everyone in our family hated her. One day, she decided she wanted to be rich, so she married a rich guy 10 years older than her. But I guess she decided splitting his money wasn't what she wanted, so she devised a plan to try to get it all. I don't know if she planned on trying to kill him before they got married or not, but it seems she wanted all his money, and maybe even some extra from his life insurance. But before her plan could work, her husband found out she had been secretly poisoning him, and she was arrested. By the time all that was found out, she was already pregnant.
You mean with me?
That's right. But her husband wanted nothing to do with the daughter of the woman who tried to kill him, so he refused to take you. That's when I decided to take you rather than have you put up for adoption. My parents used all the savings they had to hire a lawyer to help my sister, but it wasn't enough. The cost of the trial and the extra mouth to feed was too much. I had to quit school and find a job to help my parents out and to raise you.
So, that's why you didn't graduate high school?
Some people said it wasn't worth doing all that for a child of someone like her. But even though your mom had done a horrible thing, I didn't think you should suffer for it. I did my best to shield you from the sins of your mom. I knew if you were associated with someone like that, it would make your life even more difficult.
That's why, even up till just last week, you'd try to keep it a secret from me?
For the past 24 years of your life, I loved you and raised you like you were my own. But that wasn't enough for you. You wanted even more than that. And when you told me I wasn't your mom, I thought you knew. So, I thought you wanted to know who your real mom was. Recently, I had been considering never telling you the truth and just taking that secret with me to the grave.
So, you were never planning on telling me about my real mom?
I wanted to at first, but it was mostly my parents who thought I shouldn't. When my sister was sent to prison for attempted murder, my parents were so ashamed. They didn't want to be seen in public anymore. They got rid of pretty much everything in the house that was tied to her. Even the baby pictures they had of her. We moved away from that town and my parents never spoke of her to anyone again. But those things I sent to you, those are what I secretly took from my parents before they destroyed everything of my sister's. If you ever wanted to know who your real mom was, I figured it would be best if I had some proof or something that might lead you to her. I'm glad I kept those things now.
No, you sent those things to me so my fiancé would find out, didn't you? You kept those things to use against me, didn't you?
What are you talking about? I gave you those things because you said you wanted to know. They helped you find your real mom, didn't they?
Shut up! Think about what you've done. Now my fiancé's family knows that the bride's mother is a criminal. This is terrible!
Oh? Is that worse than her mother being a high school dropout? I guess you never considered there are worse things than that, did you?
It's not just that. They know my mom was only after money and tried to kill her husband to get it. What do you think they're gonna assume I'm doing?
Well, I can't blame them for that. If I was in your fiancé's position, I'd be concerned that you'd be trying the same thing that your mom tried too. I'd be scared you might be trying to take my life.
My fiancé's parents said they want the wedding postponed, which is basically their way of saying they don't want their son marrying a criminal's daughter because it'd be bad for their reputation. I'm sure it's just a matter of time before the wedding is canceled altogether.
That's not surprising. It's an unfortunate situation.
What are you talking about? That's what you'd say if this was happening to someone you barely knew.
That's because it is. I'm not your mom. You told me that yourself not too long ago.
Well, yeah, but I didn't know my real mom would be such a horrible person.
You chose the person you had never met over the woman who raised you your whole life. I went along with your decision and gave you the information you wanted so you could find your real mom. You found her. So, I'm not your mom anymore. And that means you're not my daughter anymore.
I was angry. It was a slip of the tongue. It could happen to anyone. I didn't mean it.
You didn't say it. You typed it. Are you saying it was just a slip of the finger?
I only have one mom. You know that. You were my mom then, and you're still my mom now.
You can't just flip sides whenever it's convenient for you. Your fiancé is about to dump you, so now you want to come running back to me? Do you think I'm gonna fall for that?
Mom, I'm sorry. I apologize. Please forgive me. Mom! Please, I'm sorry.
I know you meant what you said to me before. Now you've got to take responsibility for your decisions. You're supposed to be an adult. If you can't take responsibility for your own actions, I must not have raised you very well. But from now on, I'm not going to be looking after you or helping you out ever again. I devoted my entire life to you. I worked hard and gave you everything I could possibly give you. I have absolutely nothing left to give you. And that includes any love. After that, Leah's fiancé's parents were completely against the wedding after finding out who Leah's real mom was. Their family was very concerned with how other people viewed them. They were willing to put up with me being related to them, even though I didn't finish high school. But it was clear they wanted nothing to do with Leah's real mom and the things she had done. Needless to say, the wedding was canceled. Leah had been quite proud and had been telling everyone how her husband-to-be is a young doctor and how she was going to be marrying into an entire family of doctors. But when she had to tell them that the wedding was canceled, it was such an embarrassment for her. As if that wasn't bad enough, Leah was quite popular on social media and had a lot of friends and followers. So when word got out about her real mom being in prison for attempted murder, word spread really fast. And all of her friends tried to distance themselves from her. I guess they weren't really her friends after all. Leah ended up being left all alone. I guess she couldn't stand how everyone she thought really cared about her left her so quickly, so she tried contacting me again. But I couldn't bear to speak with her again, so I blocked her number. After that, I haven't heard anything more from her. She's not my daughter anymore, so she'll have to learn how to deal with things on her own. I, on the other hand, am no longer working to support anyone else. I'm going to be focusing on my own life from now on. My life begins now.
Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please press the like button. See you next time. Hey there, sis. Do you have a second to talk? I hope you're not too busy. It's kind of important, so I'd really rather not wait if it can be helped. What are you doing right now?
You know what I'm doing, Marie. I'm at work. What's the problem?
Work? Don't make me laugh. That job of yours is hardly work. It must be nice working from home all day and doing absolutely nothing. Do you even make any money from that job? Minimum wage, maybe? I can assure you that whatever you are doing right now for your job is nowhere near as important as what I'm about to tell you.
Okay. Well then, are you going to tell me, or are you just going to talk about how important it is? You might not think my job is difficult, but I need to focus. And usually your exciting stories aren't worth listening to anyway. If you could keep it brief, I'd be grateful to get back to work quickly.
You're so mean. Everything I have to say is important. You know you love to hear all about my life.
Please, Marie. I really need to get my work done. Whatever it is you have to say, just say it. I'm going to put my phone down and ignore you if you keep wasting my time.
But I thought it would be fun to tease you about it a little bit more before telling you.
If you don't want to tell me, I'm going to get back to work. Stop playing games.
Why are you always in such a bad mood? Can't you lighten up and just enjoy talking to your sister a little bit?
Have a nice day, Marie. I need to focus.
Okay, fine. You're no fun at all. You're lucky I'm so generous. I'm not always so patient with other people that are so mean to me.
Yes, I'm so lucky to have such a kind and forgiving sister like you. Now tell me what you want.
I will. Don't bother sitting down because you're going to stand up when you hear this. I'm not sure what would be the best way to break this to you, so I guess I'll just say it outright. I've been seeing someone and it's been going so well. But unfortunately for you, you're going to be single again very soon.
What are you talking about?
Oh, maybe I wasn't clear enough. I'm talking about your husband, of course. I thought it was finally a great time to tell you about Scott and I. I know you're probably surprised, but you should be happy for us. We're going to be together. He's going to be mine and we'll be so happy together.
Again, what are you even talking about? What's going on? And Scott isn't a thing to possess. He's a person. What's this all about? I told you I'm tired of the games. If you're just going to mess with me, I'm going to focus on my work. I don't find this amusing at all.
It's not a joke. Surely it isn't that hard for you to believe. Scott even said so himself that he's going to be much happier now that I will be a larger part of his life. There's really not much more to it than that, if you ask me.
You're lying to me. You're always so full of it. Why are you bothering me with these sorry excuses for jokes?
I told you this isn't a joke. You need to start taking me more seriously. You know Scott's family is very wealthy and they have a distinguished history. It's important to them that they are able to have an heir to continue their legacy. You've been married for almost 6 years now and you still haven't been able to have children. That's a huge problem for them, and it seems like you don't understand that. On top of that, you're already in your 30s. You're quickly running out of time to be able to have children, if it's even possible at all. It's really such a shame. Scott's mother has been particularly frustrated about the whole situation. It's been bothering her for a while now, and she made the suggestion herself. I'm sure you can't even imagine how she feels being in this situation. She suggested that I would be the perfect match for Scott because I'm a young and healthy woman in her 20s.
I don't believe any of this. You're such a terrible liar.
It's not a lie. I was almost as surprised as you, but I guess I am quite the catch for someone like Scott. We are practically a perfect match for each other. From there, we decided to test the waters a bit with a trial period, and it went better than I could have imagined. After only a couple months, it was crystal clear that we are so compatible with each other. I've never been with someone who I get along with so well.
Trial period? You're talking about this as if you're taking a car out for a test run. You're openly admitting to cheating with my husband and you're acting like this is no big deal.
Yes, exactly! I'm glad it's finally clicked. I told you, we're like a match made in heaven. I know you might be sad, but honestly, you should be happy for the both of us. Actually, everything has been going so well between us that he actually proposed yesterday.
He proposed?
He did! I said yes, of course.
We are very much still married. He can't marry again when we haven't even gotten a divorce yet.
That's right. I almost forgot. That's still a small problem. We just talked the other day about how he wants to get married as soon as possible. That's actually why I'm messaging you. It would be great if you could make the divorce happen sooner rather than later. The both of us would be so grateful. Oh, and there's no point in trying to tell Mom and Dad about all of this. They already know all about the situation. They're both on my side. They fully support the idea.
I can't believe you. I can't believe you would do this to me. I am surrounded by a bunch of morons. I knew you lot were stupid, but this time you all have totally exceeded my expectations.
I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you so much, sis. I know you're really trying to make fun of me, but the only thing I hear is the whining and crying of a sore loser. You should learn to be a little gracious in defeat. By the way, you don't have to worry about alimony or anything like that. It'll all be taken care of, so hopefully that gives you a little comfort in all this. I think he said it would probably amount to something around $40,000. I bet it's more than you thought, huh? I think you're super lucky. Aren't you excited? It's such a nice turn of events for you. So, yeah. I think that just about covers everything for my declaration of victory.
I see. Thanks for being so open and honest about everything. I think I've heard enough now. I don't think there's anything else for us to talk about now. I'm going to get back to work now.
Wait, what? Just like that, you're going to end this conversation and go back to work? You're way too calm about this. I'm a little shocked.
I don't know. I'm not sad or angry anymore. I'm just surprised about everything. You can tell Scott to bring the divorce papers back with him for the next time I see him.
Jeez, you really are taking it kind of bad. Now I'm a little scared.
You can do at least that for me, right? Just tell him for me if you want to make this go any quicker.
I will. Don't you worry. You really killed the mood with your reaction. It's hard to enjoy gloating about my victory when you're so calm about everything. I am so confused. You are acting so strange. I was really hoping for a better reaction from you. I thought you'd be feeling at least a little bit more miserable than this. Oh, what a letdown.
Oh, is that right? Well, I am sorry you didn't get the spectacle that you had anticipated. Anyway, I really need to get back to work now. I've got a lot that I need to finish up for today. Hello, Marie. I'm sure you'll be happy to hear that I've finished up everything on my end. The divorce is basically finished at this point.
Really? Is it really already finished?
You'll also be happy to know that as soon as we were finished, Scott went ahead and submitted the papers for your marriage license.
Oh my gosh! I can't believe it! It's really happening! Finally, Scott and I will be officially married! I'm going to be a wife! I didn't think we would get here so soon, let alone without any problems. No, not just a wife. A wife to the son of a distinguished family.
Yes, you have a lot to celebrate, I'm sure.
You know I I do. I'm so excited. You need to hurry up and move out of Scott's home to make room for the new woman of the house.
What? Already? Are you sure there wasn't a misunderstanding between you and Scott in a prior conversation? I thought I had more time to get myself situated.
Scott and I are going to be officially married now. Of course we are going to need to be living together. Don't be silly. Besides, we've given you plenty of time to get your stuff figured out. Oh, you know what? I wouldn't mind if you want to stick around and be a housekeeper for us. I'd happily let you stay in one of the guest rooms. I'm sure they'd be good enough accommodations for you.
No, never mind. Just forget about it. I've already found a place. I'm sure I'll find a way to speed things up a bit.
Oh, really? I didn't know you'd already decided.
I think this goes without saying, but I suppose I shouldn't put anything past you to miss something so obvious. I'm done with our family. You, Mom, Dad, I'm over it. I'm tired of being the only person with any sense. You all cause me so much more trouble than it's worth.
Oh, come on. You're so dramatic, it's embarrassing. You know you don't mean that, so stop acting ridiculous.
Mom and Dad said the exact same thing that you did, but I don't know how to make it any more clear to you. The fact that you all can't see past your own nose is sad and pathetic. You all don't realize how awful you treat people. Your own family, even.
I guess that's something that you and I will probably never see eye to eye on. If you ask me, it seems like this is just another sad performance of someone being such a loser about everything. Oh, speaking about you being a loser, I just remembered something. When Scott and I have our first child, I'll make sure you pay child support. Can you imagine how amazing that would be?
Do you even understand how that works?
I'll be looking forward to your contributions to helping our family grow.
You aren't making any sense. I honestly have nothing to say to you.
What's your problem? You really are such a loser sometimes.
Your annoying banter isn't important right now anyway. It seems like Scott is going to need to stay with his parents for the time being.
What? How do you know that? I haven't heard anything about it.
I assumed as much, but it doesn't matter. I'm telling you about the situation now. The place that Scott and I have been renting is in my name anyway, so...
Wait, really? I didn't know about that either.
I had been living here when I was single, and the two of us had been living here for the time being. That's why it's all in my name.
Yeah, but I had no idea about any of this, or any of these changes. What am I supposed to do then?
What do you mean? I told you he said he was going to be staying with his parents. You said it's important to live together, right? It looks like you'll be moving in with them for a while.
No way! This is unfair!
Whatever it is, it's something you'll need to figure out. I've got to go now.
Hang on a second. This is ridiculous!
Goodbye, Marie.
Hello, sis. Long time no see, huh? I mean, wow. How long has it been now? 3 years? It feels like I haven't heard from you in ages. How's everything going? Anything exciting going on in your boring life?
Well, look who it is. If it isn't the miserable, backstabbing woman I used to call my sister. To what do I owe the displeasure?
What kind of way is that to address your sister?
Ex-sister.
What's with the attitude?
I don't know what you mean. How else should I talk to my former sister who I thought I cut all relations with? Now, what do you want?
I've got incredibly exciting news. I couldn't wait another moment to tell you. Also, I've got something super important to ask you about.
I can't imagine this could be any better than the last time you shared your incredible news with me. I'd wager that anything you have to share isn't worth my time. The past 3 years have been significantly more enjoyable without you being a part of any of it. So I think I'd like to keep up my streak. Bye-bye.
I don't think so. You need to hear about this. Scott and I are going to be having our first child very soon. Oh, really? His mother has been so irritating about her grandchildren. We've been trying for a while and we hadn't had much luck at all. It's a lot more difficult to have children than I thought. But I guess compared to 6 years of not having any children, we've had way more progress. Scott and I talked about it a lot. But this time for sure, Scott and I are going to get our lovely little visit from the stork. Wait, seriously? I couldn't be more serious. I wouldn't joke about my children or my family's future. Not only is it our first child, but it's going to be a boy too. We're so lucky. We couldn't be happier. So that's our little announcement that I wanted to share with you. I see. I'm so glad you took the time out of your day to let me know about that. I'm so happy you shared your totally irrelevant news with me. Not sure how I could have gone through the rest of my day without that. But that's not all of it. Here comes the most exciting part. Please don't tell me you've got more. Do you mean to tell me it's not over? I'm going to have to cut it short because I need to get back to work. And also ignoring you. Is that all you ever do is work? Doesn't it ever get old not having a life? What's it matter to you anyway? I enjoy my job. Nothing else matters. And least of all, your opinion. You keep distracting me from the important things I'm trying to tell you about. I almost forgot. Please, don't let me get in the way of your big announcement. If you'll allow me to continue, then... Your generous sister is willing to let lonely old you help me take care of my first child. Aren't I sweet? Doesn't it sound like fun, Auntie? Just when I think you couldn't be any more stupid, you go and say something like that. Don't be like that. Think of this as Scott and I trying to share a bit of our happiness with you. What makes you think that I need anyone to share any of their happiness with me? Oh gosh, let me think. You've been living a miserable, lonely life all on your own, cut off from your family. I think you need a little happiness more than anyone else. You don't have any children, and no one around you to cheer you up. You're living such a sad life, right? Don't you think you'd have fun helping us take care of our first child? It's so thoughtful of us to extend the offer to you. You aren't kidding, are you? I can't believe you're actually serious. But before you accept our generous offer, I've got to let you know about some of the details. We'll be expecting you to make some monetary contributions as well, in exchange for our kind offer. So we'll be needing you to pay child support. You still don't understand how that works, do you? I don't have time to help you take care of your kids. Not that I would if I had time anyway. I already have my hands full with my own. You already what? After moving, I met someone that I eventually got married to. Not long after, we had our first child together. I've been working hard and doing my best as a mother and a wife. Wait, but how? That doesn't make any sense. I thought that you couldn't have children. Not at all. I don't have any issues with fertility. Then how were you incapable of having children for the 6 years you were married to Scott? I'm not exactly sure that was ever the problem. Have you ever thought that maybe that's not why we never had children? Are you positive that the child you're pregnant with is the son of your husband? What? You're just messing with me, right? Do you realize what you were saying? Don't say crazy stuff like that. Of course I know it's our child. It doesn't look like you're very confident about your answer. Before we had gotten divorced, Scott and I went to the maternity clinic to have evaluations done. When was this? I don't know exactly, but it was sometime before the divorce. I didn't have any problems when the results came back from the tests. On the other hand, Scott's results showed that he, in fact, has fertility issues. Are you serious? According to the results, conventional means of conception is significantly more difficult for Scott. I didn't know about this. Why wouldn't he tell me? It doesn't surprise me that he didn't tell you about it. When the results finally came back from all of the tests, it was the day that the divorce was finally finished. I went to the maternity clinic on my own to see the results of the test. I wasn't surprised he didn't come with me. Naturally, he wasn't going to want to go with me. I thought that trying to get in touch with him to let him know about the results was the right thing to do. He had the right to know the results as much as I did. But he never answered when I tried to call him. So thanks to that, the results never got back to him. And now, here we are.
I can't believe this. If he really does have fertility issues, then that means that my child might…
Yes, those were my thoughts exactly. Which is why I asked if you are absolutely sure of the father of your child. It seems like you have your own doubts as well.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I am sure it's Scott's child, but…
But… Your bad habits with commitment have continued even after marriage. Am I right?
Excuse me?
Don't pretend like you don't know what I'm talking about. It wouldn't be the first time you spent a night with someone random while in a relationship. You've always loved to brag about how popular you are with men, right? I'm sure you haven't forgotten about the many times in the past you've shared so many stories with me.
You don't have any idea what you're talking about.
You can try to deny reality however you'd like, but you've got a situation on your hands that is going to be difficult for you to fix, if it's even possible. I'd give you some advice, but I promised I was cutting relations with my family. I've been slacking on that today, so I think it's about time to get back to it. I'm sure you'll figure out a solution. Some people work much better when they are under a lot of stress. But just so you know, the truth will always come out eventually. Contradictions in the fabricated story will eventually come up, and before you know it, you'll be in an even bigger mess than before. It's inevitable. It's best not to forget that, and stick to the truth. All right then, this is it for me. Take care, Marie.
Please don't go. I need your help. I don't know what I should do.
Through my sister's wise judgment, she came to the conclusion that hiding the truth from her husband was the best option. As I expected, that plan didn't go at all how she had hoped. When her son was born, it was impossible to deny that it was not Scott's son. The child looked absolutely nothing like him. Scott took the extra step to confirm this through a DNA test. Marie and Scott divorced when these results came back, and Marie is now taking care of the child on her own since she doesn't know who the father is. When Marie and Scott got their divorce, she told Scott the truth about his infertility that I had previously told her about. Hoping that it couldn't possibly be true, he reconfirmed his reality with a second examination, only to be crushed once more by the undeniable test results. Drowning his sorrows in alcohol at a local bar, Scott's emotions got the better of him, and eventually the police became involved with the drunken altercation that arose. His parents realized that not only did they still not have a grandson, but also that their reputation had taken a hit due to their son's actions. Now Marie, Scott, and his family are looking more and more miserable every day. Thank you for watching! If you enjoyed watching this video and want to see more like it, don't forget to give us a like and subscribe.